Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
I was sitting here, I was thinking how many podcasts in my life that I've done that have dealt with the topic known as trauma. I'm going
Mm.
to say hundreds, if not, and I'm really being factual here, probably thousands, because it's so important. It is why we do what we do. A lot of times you hear the word trauma and you think of like major stuff like car accident, death in the family. Yeah, okay, that's traumatic in a major way. But some of the other things that you dealt with as a kid between the ages of, let's say, birth and 7 is piloting how you act now.
It sure does.
So what do we do about that? And by the way, when I say piloting you, I don't mean that in uh, a positive way. There are some things that, that support you, but most times it's holding you back. It's preventing you from having a great, wonderful, joyful, fulfilling life. How do we deal with those traumas? It's all about the energy. And this woman harnesses the power of that with many, many different modalities. We're going to talk about some of those today. How can I speak so positively about all of this? Because I figured it out. It made such a big difference. Her name is Claire Scanlan, and she is with us today. She's an energy healer. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Very well. Now, I
That's
know that
good.
you recently moved. Am I getting that right?
Yes, you are. Yeah. And actually, with the energy, I was able to manifest my dream house on the lake.
Oh, we have lots to talk about. Manifestation. We didn't even.
I know we didn't touch that, but that's comes
Mm-mm-mm.
with the energy and how you feel, and in the way to actually get to manifest something. It's not just saying the words and saying the mantra. You have to feel it. And that
Hmm.
what some people forget about. You have to feel it and be grateful every single day for whatever is in your life. Sometimes it could be just like, okay, I awoke today, I woken up today. I'm grateful for that.
We're changing the car is now turning for a moment. We
I
are going to get
know.
to energy.
Sorry.
We're going to get to no, this is fantastic. You're talking to somebody today, Claire, who last night came home from work, took care of some things, chores, whatever, had a book about manifestation, essentially about Tesla. I don't know if you're familiar, the 369 principle. And I was going to dig back into that book, and I was just too tired to really absorb it. It's still sitting on my couch. Hopefully the cats haven't chewed that book. Um, so this is so on my radar, and I'm going to be really transparent. I always am. I started manifesting things in life, and I kind of gave up. I kind of gave up because I wasn't feeling the change and things that you're talking about, living it, breathing it, feeling like it's here. Um, all of that, I guess I took my foot off the manifestation gas pedal for a little bit. And I want to hear, tell me about your lake house. I'm thrilled and intrigued.
Well, we lived in Ottawa, in Ontario, and we were there for about 10 years. And then I told my husband, that's it. I'm moving back up north because we lived in Northern Ontario all of our lives. And I just said, like, I'm gonna have a house on the lake, and that's what we're doing. And my husband always said, no, 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 we can't because we can't afford it. And I'm telling you, we're gonna have a house on the lake. It may not be that big. However, it will be my house on the lake, and I'm gonna have. So I described like my office is the whole basement. It's a walkout basement overlooking the lake. It's awesome, and I could do my energy work there or indoors if it's not that nice. And it's bright. Like right now, I see the lake is just full of snow, mind you. However, nature. I have a fox coming on my deck. I have a coyote coming. I'm not saying it right. I can never say it right. That come on our deck all the time. So it's beautiful. Like,
Um, you manifested that lake house.
yes.
Let's go back to some of the basics here. What were you doing? When did you start doing it? And how did that lake house that you're now in vary from what you manifested or dreamed?
actually,
lot of questions. I get it.
yes, I once. So we did not have a destination in mind. All I wanted was a house on the lake somewhere in Northern Ontario. So we were open. We visited a lot of houses. And like I said, like I wanted 3 bedroom, open floor concept in the main floor, overlooking the lake, obviously. I wanted my office to be overlooking the lake with a walkout, walk in, walk out.
Hmm.
And just part of the house, the basement would be a garage. And that is exactly what I got. And I was telling the real estate agent that what I wanted, and he's going, well, I'm not sure in your price range. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna work. It's meant to be. And I just say, okay, here we go, God, like make it happen.
Mm.
Like this is what I want, make it happen or better, right? That's my way. And so the week that we came to visit here in North Bay area, because we live in Sturgeon Falls, um, we were looking at homes, and he said, well, there's one home that just came up on the market and I haven't seen it yet. Do you want to go see it? So, of course, I'm going to go see it. So we came, and my husband was on the way here. He's going, oh boy, oh boy. But I couldn't see what he was seeing. And when we got here, we look at each other, and it's like, we're probably going to buy this house. Eh? Yeah, probably. I'm
Wow.
sure we will. And at the time, I was working like 60 hours a week, over than that, like 10, 12 hours a day I work. Like I have another business as well beside the Butterfly Whisper. And I'm sitting outside on the swing and I'm thinking like, okay, I need to find a way to be able to enjoy that beautiful lake and all that. And in my head, I heard that voice, apply for a job. And I'm going, I'm not looking for a job. I got my business. I have enough work in my business. So let it be, visit the house, and we decide, yeah, I think we're going to make an offer on this house. So driving back home to Ottawa, which is a 4.5 hour trip, I hear that voice again, apply for the job. And I'm going, I'm not applying for a job. I've got a job, right? So just as we turned on the street for our home where we lived, that voice said that again. So I'm going, fine. And I said it out loud, and my husband's going, like, who are you talking to? I said, oh, the spirit is giving me a message to apply for a job. So I said I was going to look. So I did look, and there's one little posting that I thought, oh, that one would be interesting. So I sent my resume and all that. I'm thinking, I don't want a full-time job. And lo and behold, I got that job.
Wow. Mm.
So I moved here, brand new job, brand new house. My other house was not even sold.
Um,
So
just beautiful.
it
Just
happens.
beautiful. Wow. How long were you manifesting that home?
Um, Before I decided, maybe a year, maybe
Okay.
less than a year, when I decided that's it, I'm done living in Ottawa. Yeah, so it didn't take long.
And what are
And
some of the things that you were doing? Obviously, believing it, it's happening. It's coming my
yes,
way in a big
yes,
way. You're
yes, in a
believing it
big
that
way.
way. But what are, and gratitude, you mentioned before, you're grateful for what you have because as I understand it, if you are, the universe just gives you more.
That's right.
Hmm.
So what I was doing is every night I would visualize what would my life look like? What would my house look like on the lake, right? And then it was like, there's a way. I know it's coming. Let's find it. And I just, like I said, I just threw it out, said, make it happen. And I would do healing, because I find that if you have blockage in your chakras, it doesn't flow as well.
Hmm.
So I would do my meditation, remove any what no longer serves me to release it, and I welcome. Also, the other thing I was doing moon ceremonies every month, where I write down on the paper what no longer serves me and what I want. And then I would So to release it, I thank it for what he brought me, but I no longer need it anymore. So now it's time to release it. I would burn it. I thank it for all it provided me. It could be like, um, oh, what's the word? Like protection type of, or some kind of security, but I didn't
Hmm.
know no longer needed that anymore. So then I burn this and I do my thank you and my little ceremony with that. And now I'm ready to welcome. So now I have my other piece of paper that I wrote down on it what I wanted. And as I'm reading it, I'm feeling it and I'm seeing it in my eyes and my heart. And then I burn it again and I thank it. And I'm going, thank you. This will come in your time, but I know this will be coming. It's just the belief, like my kids growing up, they always said, I don't know how you do it, mom. Like you leave a job, you get another job and or something, and you want something, and then you get it. And they used to tell me I was a magician because they didn't understand how I would do it. And sometimes it'd be like, I don't have money to buy this. And then all of a sudden, oh, I got money, so I could go and buy it.
And now you, if I'm hearing this clear, you would meditate on it or think about it every single night or day. Like it's
Yes,
just part of your day, part of your day.
yes,
And
yes.
I get the I do it, not to that extent. Going to change all of that up now. Thank you very much, Claire. But there's certain things that I feel should be in my life or I deserve. And there's without a doubt,
Oh, good.
they're coming my way. They are. I know it. I just know it. It's taking longer. And I
Yes.
think I'm not doing the right depth of manifestation. Like I said before, I lost a little faith in it, but that doesn't
Yes.
mean I don't believe it's still coming my way. I really do. It's a weird knowing. I don't know if that
Yes.
makes sense. It's a
Oh
weird
yeah, it
knowing.
totally knows. It totally makes sense. Because sometimes it's like, okay, I'll be patient, but hurry up, you know? And you can't hurry up because in the in the universe,
Yep.
there's no time frame.
Yeah.
So if you see something is not coming, but you know it's coming, you already have it. It just has not manifested yet.
Yeah. Hasn't shown up, but
That's right.
it's it's that belief that the universe is going to do it for you. Um, and I've done that before too. And if you come from a place of lack, like you believe, you manifest, you do it
Exactly.
all, and then you turn around and say, "Why is it? When is it going to show up? Why is it taking so long?" You've derailed all the work you've done. Not that you're going back to step one, but
No.
you're taking steps back.
Yeah.
Just believe it's going to happen. Wow. This wasn't what we were planning on talking about, but I find
Not
it
at all.
fascinating.
But it
It's
is.
all part of energy.
That's right.
It's all part of energy. Wow.
Yeah.
And to your point before, and I believe it's uh, a situation within me, this stuck energy. Even though I've done,
Yes.
chakra cleansing through a practitioner before we met, Reiki, all of that, things get mucked up over time, and there could be things holding me back from receiving what I believe, should be my manifestation. And then therein lies, somebody like you that comes along and clears that energy. Um,
It's so interesting how it
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
Um, I have an example. So I didn't have a great childhood, and there was a lot of trauma, big trauma, and then little trauma, as you were talking earlier. And I've been seeing a psychologist, psychiatrist for years and years and years. And then when I started doing the energy work on myself, learning it, and then practicing it, my psychologist said, wow, you've changed so much since when you first started to now. And that was just like in a span of a few months once I started doing the energy work on myself and all that. And one thing that really, really worked for me and was so powerful was chakra dance. Like I do, chakra dance is a modality to release any hurt, any blockage in your chakras. And what we do is there's music, and each chakra will resonate differently to a type of music. So the music that goes with that is it's geared towards the chakra to activate it, to remove any blockage, hurt, whatever. Okay. So when you do the chakra dance, first of all, it's spontaneous. Your eyes are closed, or I do have some, I call it eye gear. Oh my gosh. What is it called? To put
Um,
on your eyes. Like, sometimes people will use it to go to sleep.
meditate? No.
No,
A
like
mask. A
a
mask.
mask. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I couldn't think of the word. Anyway, and it would be, I just guide you through the meditation. So when your eyes are closed, you feel it deeper than if you're looking around, right? So when the music plays, and if your chakra is blocked, you won't feel the music. It won't resonate within your body. You won't be able to dance. You'll start thinking about, oh, what's for dinner? Oh, I have this deadline. I've got to think about this and da, da, da. So the whole time I lived in Ottawa, I was taking that course to become a certified facilitator. And lo and behold, I could not do my base chakra because I did not want to put roots in Ottawa. And once I realized that, okay, I'm not putting roots in Ottawa, I'm moving back, then I was able to dance to the base chakra. But it took me 3 months of just listening to the music, like at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, and just listening to it and meditating on it. And okay, let's remove. You've made the decision, you're moving. But initially, it was like, what is going on? I can't move. Like my leg would be hurt. I would have to sit. It's like, this is ridiculous. But I was still in the learning process of it, right? So it did make sense initially, but as I got more into it and started to learn more about it, then it was like, oh, now that makes sense.
Why do you dance? And why does music help all of this as opposed to, let's say, just somebody or an energy healer clearing out your chakras?
Because you're releasing it from your muscle as well, from your body. And
Mm,
dance is free flowing and
mm.
it's movement and
And
it
healing.
just connects exactly. And when you think about it, in the previous years, I also have indigenous blood in me. So that really resonates with me. When they dance, when they have their powwow, right? When someone's hurt, someone's dying, they have the big powwow. And it releases the energy. And it is so powerful to the point that I was doing the course, like, and one day my husband came home and he looks at me and he says, "You look different today. What did you do?" I said, "Well, I was doing my chakra dance and I was working on my solar plexus, which is your power, which I had not realized I had given my power to my abuser as a child. I released that with the dance. And it was so powerful. And after that was like, I realize now when I give my power to somebody, because unconsciously we do. If someone is abusive, or controlling, or sometimes it could be just at work. Your boss would say something and you feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot respond. You gave your power away. Take it back. But
Wow.
it's easier said than done, right? And it makes such a world. And now, like, I feel it in my body when, like, okay, so now once a week, I still listen to the dance, to the music. Sometimes I'll get busy working and I don't listen to, like, the music is playing, but I'm not focusing on the music. And then there'll be one song that comes on. It was like, okay, I need to listen to that one. And I realized that, okay, I have some blockage there. So let's work on this. What's going on? And I ask my body, okay, body, what's going on? Like when I do my meditation, why is this manifesting? Why am I coughing so much? Oh, okay, I didn't talk about so and so, and that really bothered me, and I held it back. So I'm starting to cough. It, it's little things
Oh, I
sometimes.
believe me, I totally get it and understand it. And you talk about coughing. I rarely get sick. I got a virus in mid-October. I knew it came from a coworker. He was coughing. I'm like, "What's going on there, dude?" He's like, "Oh, it's an allergy." It wasn't an allergy. I had a fever for 4 days. Went down with
Wow.
Tylenol. It wasn't COVID, nothing like that, no flu. I haven't had a fever in half my life. Okay, so it never happens. Rare. But my point to your point is it happened for a reason because it's slowed me down. I was laying in bed. I never do that. I got some clarity. I got to think more. And
Yes.
now it shook up my life in such a way that now I take time to do nothing and lay in bed. And I realize it made me realize how powerful that can be in terms of meditating, thinking. My thinking was, I gotta keep going, but doing nothing is doing something. So it had it like slapped me inside the head, like, all right, this is what you need to do right now. But it gave me a lot of clarity and still does as I put the pieces together from that period. I had acute laryngitis. I couldn't work. I
Yeah.
couldn't. So it's almost as if this thing happened to now stop me in my tracks and listen. And there's, I think when you piece those things together, you learn.
Yes.
Things present themselves. Same thing with you in knowing that somebody took your power. Um, I get those big things. Again, trauma. There's
Yes.
doesn't get any bigger than that in terms of trauma. But even the little things, like when your boss says something and you feel inferior, somebody has taken your power at that
That's
time.
right.
I'm intrigued how, Claire, you was it your root chakra
For what?
that
Initially,
that you said before that you couldn't um
dance when I couldn't dance. Yes, that was
yeah
the base chakra.
phase.
Yeah,
Is that
that
the same
was.
thing as the root?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay. Okay. I find it funny and fascinating at the same time that you were not having it in terms of putting roots down in that
Not
area
at all.
because it didn't feel right.
No.
Did it
And
feel like you didn't belong there?
oh, definitely. And
Mm.
I knew when we moved there was for employment and all that, but we knew we were not going to stay in the big city. We wanted to come back in the north somewhere. We just didn't know where, when.
Wow. Wow. The universe did.
Oh yeah, because I told my husband one day, I said, "That's it. I'm gone. I'm leaving." He says, "Well, we don't even have a house." I said, "Actually, it was in the spring we were talking about it, and we had the house. We had bought the house in July, so it happened very quickly, like a few months." And it was like,
Wow.
"It's happening, man."
You're giving me visuals in my mind because when I got this virus, I was in Florida, and I said to
Huh,
myself, I belong here." So it's
that's
almost
interesting.
yeah, and I don't feel I belong here anymore where I am. I feel I've done my time. You can work
Yes,
anywhere. Um, so I'm getting parallels here based on what you're talking about. That the universe sends you signals.
it
Take it,
does. It
giving you
does.
information.
And sometimes you'll have a thought, and you'd say, like, "Where's this coming from?" Like kind of out of nowhere, random thought.
Sure, sure.
And then you say, this kind of silly, like I'm not gonna bother. And then that thought comes back again and again and again. And then you have to stop and listen. Your body, your thoughts will give you indicators.
Yes.
And then you say, "Oh, okay, what's that mean? Is this what I really want to do?" Like, and I know for me, doing the energy work, this is what I want to do. I had where we lived before. It's a little hour and a half from here, and I knew I needed to go in a big center to learn something and bring it back to the north.
Hmm.
And I told my husband all that, and then he lost. I gotta tell you a little manifestation story, which is I was
We're
kind
out
of
of
like,
time. I got to tell you, so we're going to press the pause button here. I cannot believe how fast this went, and
I
it's so
can't
funny
believe it either.
how the universe rolls around. Like we weren't even planning on talking about manifestation.
Not
You
at
started,
all.
and I'm so intrigued and thrilled for you that you found that house on a lake. That sounds wonderful, but it came from here. And that's
No,
just
it came from here.
thank you. And, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it started here, but this is
Yes.
where it ultimately came from. And this again, just part of energy and part of what you offer, Reiki, energy healing, the energy we're talking about, the stuck energy. If things aren't showing up for you, probably you have stuck
Yes.
energy. I know I do.
Yes, you do.
What's the best way to find you?
So the best way is I have my website. It's www, of course, butterfly-whisper.com. My email, it's Claire, Claire, at butterfly-whisper.com. Or you could call or text on my cell, 613-720-2472.
Beautiful talking with you today.
It was beautiful.
Wow.
And I'll see you next week.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and lots of other things to dig into and what you offer. But most importantly, you offer insight, and wow.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and easy to understand too. I'm looking forward
That's
to it.
That's great. Okay, it was great meeting you.
You too. We are coming right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.